Hello. I got a question recently on a YouTube video I did about tips to build study habits. And I thought it wasn't like, I didn't have enough to respond in a YouTube video, so I thought I would respond on here. But I have a couple tips that I've brainstormed. I'm sure there are more, but these are what I've brainstormed. The first thing is realizing that sitting down and studying is like kind of a job or a habit. It's something that you can't just like sit down one day if you're not used to doing it and do. It takes a lot of work. It's a stamina exercise. And so don't just expect to be able to do it one day. And if you can't do it, give up. It takes time to build up. It takes time to make it a habit. Just like exercising, just like anything else, it takes time. So be gentle on yourself. The next tip is I really feel like you should schedule in breaks. I would recommend starting off, like if you're just starting up and you're trying to build up being able to study longer and longer, start with smaller time intervals. Start with 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then schedule in your breaks. I would obviously, if you're doing shorter periods of time, schedule in shorter breaks. And then when you start to do longer periods of time, you can start to do longer breaks. I am very sensitive to what I like to call inertia. So basically, if I'm doing stuff throughout my day, then it's easier for me to keep going. But if I like stop and relax, it's way harder for me to get started again. So I like to schedule in breaks, but I like to make my breaks something like productive, like working out or going to the grocery store or cleaning one room of my house or doing a load of laundry or something like that. So it's a break from actually thinking and studying, but I'm not just like laying down scrolling on my phone, because then it's much harder for me to get up. I also think reaping the results of your work often and frequently is very helpful to keep going. It's kind of like, I know it's not the same, but I think of it like gambling. Like you get those little dopamine hits. That's like getting questions right, like practice testing questions right, or doing a practice test and getting like a better percentile. So I like those positive reinforcements of all the work that you're doing is working. For medical school, UWorld is something that I think most medical students use, and doing like a UWorld test, kind of you're studying, but you're also seeing your results and the results of your studying. And I think that just like makes it easier for you to keep going, because you're like, oh yeah, I did great at this, let's keep going. And so it's more fun that way. I would say those are my two biggest tips. I don't want to make this video too long. If you have any other study tips, please leave them below. I am going to have to jump back into studying when I take my boards, which is going to be in like 5 months. So I'll definitely be doing more study videos. I need to take some of my own advice.